The Dodgers continue to be in a New York state of mind. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Rodriguez. Welcome to another week of Dodgers Latest right here on our YouTube channel. As always, we want to thank you for making us part of your daily dose of Dodgers news and information. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend as we continue to grow in the community thanks to you. And you can always hit me up on Instagram and on X at JRodShow. Well, the Mets are coming. We'll get into that, but a great weekend for the Dodgers as they hosted the Yankees at Dodger Stadium, and it was indeed a show. It was as advertised, right? Ohtani and Judge, well, they provided some fireworks, combining for 5 home runs in the weekend. 3 for Judge, 2 for Ohtani, and for the Dodgers, boy, how can you not talk about it other than that 18-2 thumping that the Dodgers gave the Yankees? Love to see it, right? Dodgers did everything right seemingly in that game, in that series. They won the opener as well. And it's funny, right? Yamamoto pitches on Sunday. That's the game they lose. And then they win with a struggling Tony Gonsolin, who kind of hung in there on Friday night, and Landon Knack, who was given that big lead, and he went on Saturday. That's baseball. But you did get what you wanted, what you paid for in Judge and Ohtani hitting 5 home runs in the series. And talk about some other things that happened. Well, we saw Dalton Rushing get his first major league home run. So congratulations to him. We saw Hee-Sung Kim do something that has never been done in the modern era of baseball. This was on Saturday. He had 4+ hits, had a home run, did an unassisted double play, and he even had an outfield assist. And, of course, what did the Dodgers do the next day? They benched him. Well, that's maybe for another story, as Miguel Rojas ended up playing. But Kim hopefully will be in the lineup for the rest of this week. And I think that's it, right? There's no way this guy can go back down to the minor leagues. He is here to stay. And what really jumped out at me amongst all the other stats, if you looked at Saturday's box score, the Dodgers win 18-2, right? And, of course, you had all the flashy numbers. The bottom of the Dodger lineup, 8 and 9, Tommy Edman and Hee-Sung Kim win a combined 8 for 9, right? With those home runs. Yeah, they went 8 for 9. Kim went 4 for 4, a home run, 3 runs scored. And then Tommy Edman went 4 for 5 with 2 runs scored. So the bottom of that lineup, 8 for 9 with a home run and 5 runs. So that's what you call setting the table for Shohei Ohtani. Because that's been one of the struggles we've talked about. That Ohtani's got these 22 home runs, but he's only got like 37, 38 runs batted in, which means he's only driven in, he hasn't driven in anybody other than himself most of the time. So if that bottom of the lineup, and we saw it on Saturday, and of course it wasn't a surprise they ended up getting 18 runs. That bottom of the lineup could explode like they did. Oh my goodness. Dodgers continue to powerhouse through the National League. Of course, they lead the National League West, 2 over the Padres, 3 over the Giants, sitting with a record of 36-23 after taking 2 out of 3 in that World Series rematch. All right, and one of the things we also wanted to talk about is Max Muncy. Is he back? Well, remember, he was hitting under 200, and he has exploded his last 15 games. Look at those numbers. 333, 5 homers, 20 runs batted in, and low-key, 10 walks as well. He had a big Saturday night in that 18-2 game, hit 2 home runs, had 7 runs batted in, hit another home run last night. And for Max Muncy now, he is sitting at 202 career home runs as a Dodger. That puts him 1 behind Matt Kemp for 7th all-time in franchise history. That's Brooklyn and LA. Of course, Duke Snider holds the record. Eric Karros has the LA Dodger record at 270. So he's floating around there. Max, there's been some talk. Maybe his demise was greatly exaggerated, but good to see Max hitting as he has been on a tear at the end of May with those 333, 5 homers, and 20 runs batted in. And he had a big weekend against the Yankees. Hitting 3 home runs. So good to see Max doing well. Hopefully we see Mookie Betts doing well. He missed the whole Yankee series. Listen, it's happened to all of us, right? He got out of bed in the dark and he stubbed his toe and he ended up breaking his toe. So he misses the whole weekend. Some good vibes. Apparently he was at the ballpark on Sunday last night, put on closed-toed shoes, and did some light baseball activity festivities. So we're hoping that will be translating into him getting into this series. Don't think he'll be playing today or tomorrow. Anything could change. We know what a gamer Mookie Betts is. But Mookie, we're thinking, according to Dave Roberts, he'll be back in a few days. Maybe that's the back end of this Mets series, and hopefully, definitely when the Dodgers hit the road this weekend, because they go to St. Louis and San Diego after they're done with the Mets. Mookie's .254 batting average, 8 homers, 31 runs batted in, 5 stolen bases. By the way, we're talking about milestones. 21 home runs away from 300. Don't know if he'll get it this year, but he'll definitely get it next year. All right, we've been talking about the Dodgers being in a New York state of mind. Well, the Mets, we had a World Series rematch over the weekend. Now we have a National League Championship Series weekend. Remember, the Dodgers were in Queens a couple weekends ago, lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets. Now New York comes to LA for 4 games, and it should be interesting to see how this thing plays out. The Dodgers trying to get things started here and continue their hot start. Remember, the Mets are also in first place. They're 37-22. They're a game ahead of the Phillies. And let's break down the matchup. So tonight, our ex-All-Star Paul Blackburn. Remember him with the A's? He was an All-Star in 2022. Well, he will take the mound. It's his first appearance of 2025. So Blackburn will be on the mound. He'll face Dustin May, who's 3-4, ERA of 4.20. May beat Cleveland his last time out. Tuesday night, well, we see Tyler Megill against Clayton Kershaw. McGill 4-4, ERA at 3.52. He is from Long Beach, so I'm sure he will have his people in the house. And Kershaw pitched really well his last time out. 5 innings, 1 earned run, ended up getting a no decision. Remember, that was the game Dodgers let get away in Cleveland, ERA of 4.91. And we talk about how Mookie is chasing 300 home runs. Kershaw still chasing 3,000 strikeouts. So it's Megill and Kershaw on Tuesday. Wednesday, rematch of what we saw in New York. It'll be Griffin Canning. He is 5-2, ERA of 3.5. He's from Mission Viejo, so again, there'll be more of Canning's folks in the house. He'll face Tony Gonsolin, who's 3-1, ERA a little high, over 5.23. He did get the win on Friday night. He looked like a boxer up against the ropes there, hanging out. He got the win against the Yankees Friday night. And then Thursday, David Peterson, the old vet, 4-2, ERA at 2.6. He will go for the Mets. Dodgers are not sure. It would be Landon Knack's turn. Maybe they want to skip him. Remember, Dodgers don't have many days off. It's 4 with the Mets, and then it's on the road, 3 in St. Louis, and then 3 in San Diego. So that should be a lot of fun. All right, final news and notes here. Some odds and ends if you're doing some betting for tonight. We said it's Blackburn against May. Well, Ohtani, 4 for 9 with a home run and a double against Blackburn, if you're looking for a little prop bet there. Against Dustin May, not much of a sample size. Pete Alonso of the Polar Bear, 2 for 3. No home runs against Dustin May. So it's Dodgers and Mets, and then Dodgers head to the St. Louis to play a very surprising wild card contending St. Louis Cardinals. We'll have all your news and notes. Hopefully we'll see Mookie by the back end of this week as the Dodgers continue to rampage toward that 9th World Championship in franchise history. Hit me up on X and Instagram at JRod Show. Like, subscribe, comment. We love you for it here at Dodgers Latest. I'm Jim Rodriguez. Remember, it's always time for Dodger baseball.